welcome to Seattle Unity Sunday service. Hello. Hello, we're all here. You're all there, but we have a room full of people. I'm so proud of you. Come on in, it's okay. It's okay, you're allowed to walk in front. It's all right. Is it good? Everybody in the room, stand as you are able. And while we're getting settled, I want to introduce, Inez is here with us today. Yay, Inez. And I'm Erin. And this is Anna Maria Gurjan. She's back with us today. We adore her. And there's also David and Olivia and Carolyn Burton. And we are so thrilled to all be here with you today. Hello at home. I know some of your names too. Hey, Faith and Rose and Elsie. Oh my God. Hi, Elsie. Elsie is this many, I think. Or that many, are you? I'm going to be wrong, and she's going to have to tell me. This is a song. It goes like this. This is the day. This is the day. This is the brand new day my Lord has made, and I call it good. I call it good. 'Cause if the Lord has made it, I call it good, so it is. All right, let's sing that. It's real easy. This is the day, yeah. This is the day. This is the brand new day my Lord has made, and I call it good. These people are rocking really hard this morning. I call it good, yeah. 'Cause if the Lord has made it, I call it good, and so it is. Let's do that again. Let's clap and see if you guys can get it going too. This is the day. Go! This is the day. This is the brand new day my Lord has made, and I call it good. 'Cause it's so good, yeah. I call it good. 'Cause if the Lord has made it, I call it good, and so it is. That was pretty good. Hey, Carolyn.
Yes, Erin?
Okay, so it's one of those songs that swaps out one of the words. So Carolyn, if you were going to swap out a word, this is the it could be this is the traffic, or this is the coffee, or this is the moment, or whatever. What would you choose?
How about this is the song?
This is the song. All right, yeah. It's a brand new song for this moment. Ready? 1, 2. This is the song. Yeah. This is the song. Good morning, Reg. This is the brand new song my Lord has made, and I call it good. Ooh, yeah. I call it good. 'Cause if the Lord has made it. 'Cause if the Lord has made it, I call it good, and so it is. Thanks. Hey, Inez. Hey, Inez.
Hey.
If you were to swap something out, this is the something. What would it be?
The city.
Oh, rock and roll. Yay!
Yay!
Our fair city is Seattle, Washington. I love the city. 1, 2. This is the city. This is the city. The brand new. This is the brand new city my Lord has made, and I call it good. Good little city. It's a good city. I call it good. 'Cause if the Lord has made it, I call it good, and so it is. Right about now, let's take time to pray. Let's pray for a moment.
And so we do move into our hearts as we know the truth of our opening statement. There is but one presence and one power in my life and in the universe, God the good, omnipotence.
All right, staying in here in this quiet place. Hey, Anna Maria. I know you have one because you did it in rehearsal, and we were all like, ooh. This is the what?
Yeah, I do have one. This is the dream.
This is the dream. Isn't that nice? We were all like, this is a fabulous dream. 1, 2. This is the dream. This is the dream. This is the brand new dream the Lord has made, and I call it good. Yeah. I call it good. 'Cause if the Lord has made it, I call it good, and so it is. Let's do This is the Day real loud and big. Ready? This is the day. Yeah. This is the day. Oh, this is the brand new day my Lord has made, and I call it good. Yeah. if the Lord has made it, I call it good. And so it is. 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 Here we go. And so it is. Well done. Please be seated.
Good morning, and welcome to Seattle Unity, both in-house and online. Thank you for joining us this morning. So today we have our building prayer, so let's join in that as we affirm that together. We are engaged in a creative process that blesses future generations. Seattle Unity's building project is unfolding with grace and ease in a timely manner. It is on schedule, on budget, and is divinely guided. The perfect people are in the right leadership positions to shepherd this process. The Board of Trustees, project team, and the congregation are helpful, loving, generous, supportive, and centered in spirit. We use this as a path to awakening. Can I get an amen? All right. So if you're at home and you would like us to bless you at the end of the service, please type prayer names in the chat box. And if you're in the room, please fill out a prayer request form. And we will, Mitch and Diane will get us those prayers for the end of the service. I have a couple of announcements before we go to our video announcements and greet each other. But the first thing I want to let you know is next Sunday is daylight savings time.
What? Oh my
So we spring forward, which means you have to get up an hour earlier to come to church. But it'll be worth it because next Sunday, Reverend David MacArthur is going to be here, and he's going to be speaking about heart math, so don't miss that. So Wednesday night on Zoom, we'll be showing the video Intelligent Trees. So as you know, this year our theme is the Tree of Life. And so in order to get kind of a good foundation for this, we'll have a discussion afterwards. So you need to register on the website so that you can get the Zoom link, and I'll be leading that. And then finally, Cindy, where's Cindy McComish? She's over here, but she's actually going to be over there in the back of the room for those who are here. And remember the photo directory that we used to have many years ago, for those who have been around? Well, now we're going to have an e-photo directory. And Cindy's been, doing little things to remind us to fill it out. And if you're like me, you keep forgetting. As soon as you leave here, it's out. So Cindy's going to be in the back of the room following the service. Just stop by and see her so she can put you in the photo directory if you'd like to be in. It's a great way to see the faces of our community. That said, what? Right, you're going to get your picture without a mask. And next Sunday, the masks are lifted. Hooray, hooray. We'll try that. And now let's greet one another as we view announcements.
As you are able, and when you're good and gosh darn ready, stay standing as you are able. When you're good and ready, you can come back towards things. Just try not to block every camera. It's a moral quandary. Would we rather have people so excited that they're in the aisles, blocking the cameras? Actually, I would. I would like that. So we just got another camera, and so that people can just see around you. Dance if you want, man. Dance. Die, 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 die. Die, 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 die. Die, 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 die. Well done. Be seated. Woo! I want to invite John Duran up to give us our reading for today.
Good morning. Today's reading comes from the Daily Word, titled, Our Minds and Our Hearts Are Together in Peace. When I put God first in my thoughts and in my life, I know only peace. When the unconditional love of God fills my thoughts, there is no space for separation or for judgment. When I see others through the eyes of love and peace, I contribute to world peace. If discord arises within me or around me, I pray to reconnect with truth. I live in the peace and love of God. This right thinking illuminates my thoughts and prevails over disharmony. I begin my day by being thankful to God for the peace within me. Before I sleep, I acknowledge that peace lies within everyone on earth. I now affirm our minds and hearts are together in peace. Together, our minds and hearts are together in peace. And I know that world peace prevails. From Isaiah 32:17, the effect of righteousness is peace, the result of righteousness, quietness, and trust.
We'll come
coming into the more contemplative part of the service, and it includes a 3-minute silent meditation. I encourage you to become comfortable in your chairs. If you're in this room, you'll probably hear a background, maybe a train going by or a neighbor shuffling a little bit. If you're at home, I encourage you to truly make space for the meditation. The song that we'll use to regulate our breath and move into this space is "The Spirit and I Are One," and Carolyn Burton will sing it through once for us.
The Spirit and I are one. 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 The Spirit and I are The Spirit and I are one. The Spirit and I are one. The Spirit and I are one. when you see the ocean. You're drawn to the strength inside the waves. But if you get caught into the ocean, the undertow will let you lose your way. I bet when you reach the ocean, can't wait to sink your toes into the sand. Instead you will sink into the ocean and watch your heart move slowly from your hands. Oh. She's calling. She's calling. She's calling. She's calling. Someday you will reach the desert, held by the warmth within the skies. Breathe in the exhale of the desert and see yourself reflected in her eyes. The moment you reach the desert, she's been singing a song of life and love. To your surprise, you're singing with the desert. You've always known the words to sing along. You have a voice to share your songs. You're coming home where you belong. She's calling. She's calling. She's calling. She's calling.
Thank you. That was a beautiful song. Could feel the ocean as she was singing it, huh? So as you know, this year our theme is the Tree of Life, and this month is the unseen realm, which is what happens underneath the visible world when we look deeper. So last week we were looking at the roots of the trees and how important it is for us to have our own roots in the form of family and friends, community, and God, so that we have a strong foundation underneath us so that we can grow and thrive, and so that we can meet and weather life's storms with support. So this week we look at the connection that fungi have to the health of the trees. So we're celebrating mushrooms. And Erin has a blog on the website where she shares a number of recipes for mushrooms. So if you have a favorite mushroom recipe, and I know I do, you can put it on the private Facebook Seattle Unity site and share those. I got mine from Canlis, so Yeah, mushroom Napoleons. It's great. Anyway, here's a few fun facts about fungi. They made their first appearance 1,300 million years ago. They are not plants or animals. They are a part of the kingdom of fungi, so they have their own kingdom. They have no chlorophyll, and they cannot photosynthesize to get food. They feed on rotten leaves, dead wood, logs, moss, dead animals. You get the picture. They're the Earth's recyclers, yeah? And, I saw an experiment where they put mushrooms on like a pile of oil, and it just ate it away and left life. So fungi are, without it, we wouldn't have plants. We wouldn't have animals. We would not have life. And the most substantial part of the fungus is the mycelium, which are thin, microscopic threads running like giant invisible webs in the soil. And if you haven't Googled an image of that, it's quite astounding to see it. The word mycelium is derived from New Latin and Greek origins, and it just means more than one. So mycelium means more than one. Of course, there's so many of them. Rich Hamilton said that a network of threads can total as much as 8 miles per cubic inch of soil. And this astounding amount of cellular material not only survives in breaking down carbon-based material, its web functions as a superhighway connecting other living species. It's quite astounding, isn't it? And again, it's known as the World Web. So we get a picture, when we see this, we get a picture of oneness in nature, because these tiny threads that connect the trees serve as a source of life. In a similar way, we too are connected by an energy that is unseen, yeah? And this energy is called love. This energy is called oneness. And it's one of the reasons I think that we enjoy being around babies, because they haven't lost that sense yet of being separate. When my daughter was an infant, those are those moments when you get up in the middle of the night and you feed them, that there's nobody else around. It's just you and the baby. And I'll never forget, I would look into her eyes and I would call it beaming, because she would this love would come out of her eyes. And it was almost like a force, and it would just almost knock me down. And I was always alone when it happened. I was never able to say, did you see what she just did? She just beamed me. She just beamed me. And no one else ever saw it or experienced it. And of course, as she got older, it went away. But I'll never forget that incredible force of love that used to come through her eyes. So as we grow, we lose touch with this realization that we're one, right? We learn to maneuver this body. We learn to walk. It's like, this is my arm, these are my legs, this is my body. I'll never forget when I was really little, the first time I realized that I was stuck in the body. I became so hyper aware of my breathing, and I was trying to jump out. And I realized I was stuck, that I couldn't get out. And I remember feeling like, oh no, I'm stuck in this body. So what happens then is we believe, because obviously from the outside we are separate. We got separate bodies. We got separate voices. We're unique beings. But without a connection to the universe, without a connection to God, without a connection to our community through love, then this belief of separation becomes the only reality. And I'm sure we fall in and out of it. Where times where you're feeling connected with everybody, and then other times where you're like, yeah, I'm all alone, and I'm separate, and there's nothing that's connecting me. But when we believe in separation, when it becomes like the only reality and the only truth, then we may take it to extremes. And that's when we begin to treat people as the other, right? What is the other? Kendra Cherry said that othering, there's a word for it, othering, involves attributing negative characteristics to people or groups that differentiate them from the perceived normative social group. So anybody that's different, right? We can see them as the other. And when we start to see people as the other, then we can dehumanize them. And when we dehumanize them, that's when it leads to atrocities. The Jews in Germany were the other. And you can go on and on about how often it has happened in history, how it happens over and over again. And so it's a question that we need to ask ourselves is, how do I participate in othering? Do I see some people as the other? Because an extreme belief, a belief in separation is dangerous. And it's the only way that we can treat each other inhumanely is by believing that somehow we're not connected. So it's very important that we see people as individuals, right? Desmond Tutu said it this way. He said, a person with Ubuntu, and Ubuntu means I am because we are. A person with Ubuntu is open and available to others, affirming to others, does not feel threatened that others are able and good, for he or she has a proper self-assurance that comes from knowing that he or she belongs to a greater whole, and is diminished when others are humiliated or diminished, when others are tortured or oppressed. So when one is hurt, we are all hurt. When one is lifted up, we are all lifted up. It is impossible to behold the Christ in another and see that we are all spirit and souls. I mean, it's important that we behold the Christ in one another and see that we are spirits and souls inhabiting these bodies. Yeah, we are gods with skin on. We are goddesses with skin on. Jesus spoke to this concept when he said, the Father and I are one. Or, love your neighbor as yourself. And it's the golden rule, right? It's not anything new, and yet it's something that we need to be reminded of all the time. So I want to share a short story, an example of what does it mean to behold the Christ? What does it mean to offer love and to offer compassion? So a woman by the name of Diane Register wrote her story, and her husband had cancer and he died. And so she found herself grief-stricken. And those of you who have grieved know that you can get hit with tears without, you know, in some of the strangest places, right? It's not necessarily convenient when one is grieving. And so she said that she would find herself, she would try to go off and hide, like, so she'd go in a closet or she'd go in a shower. And she said her favorite place became the car. And she said, I spent so much time in parking lots, just sitting in my car and crying and grieving. But one day, she was in the coffee drive-thru. And she said this wave of sadness just hit her like a tidal wave. She said, I could barely catch my breath, and then the crying started. And the problem was I was stuck in the coffee line. And the one place where all the workers, they're young, they're happy, they're jamming to their music, and there was no way out. She said, I was literally blocked in. So unless I wanted to rear-end the SUV behind me, they were about to see the mess that I really was. She said, she made her coffee drink, and she said the barista handed her an iced coffee, and it had a sweet and simple note just scribbled at the top. It was written on the cup. And when I looked at the cup holder, she said, I saw it. There was a pink straw and the words, "We love you," written around it from everybody at the coffee shop. She wanted me to know that I wasn't alone. This is a simple example of beholding the Christ, right? This is a simple example of reaching out and seeing that Spirit of God in another person. The more compassionate you are, the more you can't help but to see oneness. But not only seeing it, you feel it. right? So how many of you are overwhelmed by seeing the images that are happening in the Ukraine right now? I know I have to back off, right? How many of you get overwhelmed by the suffering that's in the world? Yeah. And this is where our spiritual practice comes into play. Because the tendency might be just to run and hide. The prayer of loving kindness is my favorite prayer. It's just so easy. And it's just something I can direct my energy to. But Stephen Forrest said about our spiritual practices, he said, what if the work that you've already done on yourself, and I know many of us here have been doing our spiritual practices for years, but he said, what if the work that you have already done on yourself has worked? What if you're further along than you imagine that you are? Rather than looking to angels in heaven to provide hope, let's look for the angels inside of ourselves. Many of us are more advanced than we think we are, and the sooner we realize that, the sooner we'll have the confidence to be able to help heal this battered world. So rather than saying, I can't, there's nothing that I can do, know that there is something that you can do. And yes, it may be unseen, like the mycelium, but it's the power of the heart, it's the power of love. I know our prayer chaplains, they are trained to pray with you, but they're also trained to witness suffering. And what I mean by witnessing suffering is I hear you and I see you, but I'm not going to jump in and fix it for you because I can't. And witnessing suffering and beholding the Christ means that I believe and I know that the answer is inside of you. And perhaps by my listening or seeing you, that answer can come forward. That's what our chaplains are trained to do. That is, to me, being in spiritual community. It's keeping and holding the high watch with one another. So the thin, microscopic threads running like giant invisible webs describes mycelium. But it also describes the power of love. Because love is an unseen energy, but it is strongly felt. And the more we open our hearts to it, the more we love. And that includes when we have a broken heart. I know sometimes when we have a broken heart, we feel like I'm never going to be able to love again. I'm never going to be able to do this again. And the truth is that our hearts are bigger than that. Because we are in the heart of God, and the heart of God is in us. So may we all experience being beamed. And may we all be the beamers. I've had, as we all start coming back to church again in person as well as online, but as people have come up to me who have not been here in a while, and they say, you know, I've been watching, and it's wonderful to watch it, but there's something about being in the room that I feel that I don't feel when I'm just watching it. And that's, again, what is that? It's the mycelium of love. It's that energy that exists right now in this room or when we are with loved ones that we can't touch, but we know it's there. So, there's a technique called heart math, and we've done it over the years. I have led you through it a number of times in meditation, but it directs, it's a technique for directing the power of love for healing for the world. So it's a spiritual practice. And David MacArthur is going to be our speaker next Sunday, and he is an expert in heart math. And so he will be speaking about that technique next Sunday. And then on March 16th and 23rd on Zoom, he's going to lead hour and a half workshops on how to activate this experience, this healing power that's within us. And I know many of you have done so many techniques, but it's a great way to come together and practice it together. So I invite you, you need to register on the website in order to attend. So as we close today, I would like us, and we've been doing it a lot, is sharing in the prayer of loving kindness. And I'm going to take us through all the steps of it, which is I. And then we're going to pick a you. I'm going to ask you to pick somebody. And then we're going to pick the people in the Ukraine. And then we, and then all beings. So it's, I know you know it, but I'm going to say it quickly, is may all beings be free from danger. May all beings have mental happiness. May all beings have physical happiness. May all beings have ease of well-being. So let's begin with ourselves. So start with I. May I be free from danger. May I have mental happiness. May I have physical happiness. May I have ease of well-being. And I'd like you to think of one person that you know needs this prayer right now. Somebody you know personally. May you be free from danger. May you have mental happiness. May you have physical happiness. May you have ease of well-being. And we focus on the Ukraine. May you be free from danger. May you have mental happiness. May you have physical happiness. May you have ease of well-being. May we be free from danger. May we have mental happiness. May we have physical happiness. May we have ease of well-being. And now all beings. May all beings be free from danger. May all beings have mental happiness. May all beings have physical happiness. May all beings have ease of well-being. And so we send out these prayers, knowing that the highest and best is outworking. And we do affirm this. We do dedicate this in the name and through the power of the living Spirit of truth, and it is so. Amen.
Give me your heart, give me your song, sing it with all your might. Come to the fountain and you can be satisfied. There is a peace, there is a love, you can get lost inside. Come to the fountain and let me hear you testify. Into the wild canyons of youth, oh, there's a world to fall into. Like he's on the moon, oh, I will give myself to you. As soon as you start to let go, give me your heart, give me your song, sing it with all your might. Come to the fountain and you can be satisfied. There is a peace, there is a love, you can get lost inside. Come to the fountain and let me hear you testify. Wave after wave, as deep calls to deep, oh, I'll reveal my mystery. As soon as you start to let go, give me your heart, give me your song, sing it with all your might. Come to the fountain and let me be satisfied. There is a peace, there is a love, you can get lost inside. Come to the fountain and let me hear you testify. Give me your heart, give me your song, give me with all your might. Come to the fountain and you can be satisfied. There is a peace, there is a love.
We now come to the time in our service to bless our tithes and donations to Seattle Unity. We are grateful for this opportunity to join in the cycle of giving and receiving. You can text to give on the number on your screen or by donating at the website at seattleunity.org. Thank you for all of you who give in whatever amount. Please know that every gift matters and goes to support this ministry and the vision of this church. I invite you now to join in the blessing of the donations received. Together, I give willingly, joyfully, and lovingly, knowing that God is the constant source of my supply. I give with graciousness, and I receive with gratitude.
Thank you, John. And if you're giving in the room, there is a box back there where you can put your donation in. So we do dedicate and consecrate these gifts to the will, the work, and the way of the living Spirit of truth. So now I invite you to raise your consciousness in whatever way you do that, moving to your heart, moving to your third eye, as we bless John Jr. We bless the transgender youth and families in Texas. We hold Betty in our prayers and Bailey. We know the highest and best is out working in the life of Irene and Val and Jim. We bless Linda and Suzanne. We see the light going before Michelle and Sandra, David and John, Becky and Marie, Adam, Dan, Emily, Anna, Linda, and anyone else that you may have thought of. Speak their names now. And so we know this truth. The light of God surrounds us. I am light. The love of God enfolds us. I am love. The power of God protects us. I am power. The presence of God watches over us. I am presence. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.
And that is the truth. Please stand as you were able. We're going to sing a closing song together. And this is Karen Drucker's setting of that meditation, that loving kindness prayer. And it starts with I, then goes to you, we, and then all. May I be filled